Today on the channel, I'm going to explain what not eligible low search volume means with respect to Google Ads keywords. Ed here from 10,000 Foot View, and I've got another Google Ads quick tip for you today. Just before I jump in, a reminder to please like our content and subscribe to the channel. We post about Google Ads at least once every week. Okay, so as I mentioned, I'll be talking about low search volume warnings for keywords. And what you should do about it. And so the first thing is, well, what does it mean? So it really means that Google will turn off auctions for that keyword in your campaign, ad account, or ad group, what have you. So that keyword typically will not run. However, we have seen in some cases that it does run periodically, right? So one example would be seasonality. So if you are offering snowplow services in August, it's very likely that that keyword might be marked not eligible, low search volume. And then 6 months later, that warning goes away and the keyword serves. Oftentimes, it's just a keyword that doesn't have much search volume at all. So Google kind of deactivates it. It doesn't mean that there's no searches at all that could trigger that. But just that Google has decided to not run it for whatever reason. So sometimes, if you just added that keyword to your campaign, it can be a good idea to let it run for several weeks and just see if it actually does serve. Because sometimes, even though they're flagged, Google does serve. But after like a month or 6 weeks, if you've got 0 impressions, 0 clicks, it's just not doing your account any good, right? It's just kind of sitting there, taking up space, adding bloat to the account, making management more of a hassle and what have you. So in those cases, just a good idea to pause them. If you do really want to run that keyword, have a look at the keyword. So there's a few different things you can do to use an alternative. So the first thing is obviously change the match type. So, if your exact match or phrase match variation of that keyword is not eligible, a broad match one often will be. That's a great option, particularly if you're already running some broad match in that ad group or campaign. Another alternative is to try shortening it. So typically the ones that are not eligible are long tail. They may have like at least 3 words, but often 4 or 5 words. So you can maybe remove one of those words, particularly if it's like a pronoun. And sometimes that will make the keyword eligible. And that's about it. So those are kind of your options. But generally, for tidiness, what we'll do in our accounts is, we will run them for, as I said, like 4 to 6 weeks max. And then we'll go ahead and pause any ones that just aren't serving. But generally also, when you have a certain level of expertise, oftentimes, you know which keywords to avoid. It's just kind of ingrained in your soul at that point that like, okay, this one's obviously not going to work. So we often have clients that ask us, hey, like, how about running these 25 keywords? And we'll respond like, okay, none of those are going to serve if you want these all to be exact match, but we'll put them in your account for you. We put them in and they don't serve, and then we end up shutting them down. But anyway, that's all there is to it. Some people have speculated if you have a lot of these in your account, that it can cause an overall low quality score. But the quality score rating is independent of those, of the status. So you shouldn't really assume that that's the case, unless the keywords are really poor, right? If they're not relevant to your offer, then obviously you shouldn't have it in there in the first place. Anyway, so that's not eligible low search volume. Obviously, if you have an entire ad group or a campaign loaded with those, you kind of need to change your keyword strategy. You're not going to be able to get any clicks. Anyway, yeah, so just a reminder to please like our content and subscribe to the channel. That's it for today. I will see you next time.